Greetings, family, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. TM. I used to be an asylum applicant. After several years, my asylum application was approved. I am a United States citizen now. I am thrilled to welcome you to Asylum in America, a channel where your most pressing questions about the asylum process, green cards based on asylum, and citizenship based on asylum are answered. Family, I have spent over 12 years navigating the immigration system here in the United States. First, I spent several years battling my asylum case to be approved. Then, I spent several years more to get a green card based on approved asylum. And finally, I spent several years more fighting to obtain United States citizenship based on an approved asylum. I want you to know that I intimately understand the uncertainties and challenges you may face in your asylum journey here in the United States immigration system. The questions you have now are the same questions I used to have on my asylum journey. In each video, I draw from my extensive first-hand asylum immigration process experience to provide you with insights and guidance to help you. Family, like this video and subscribe to this channel for more exciting content. If you have been granted asylum in the United States and are now considering applying for a green card, there are several important factors to keep in mind. Failure to consider these factors can delay you from getting your green card application approved. Worse, it might mean that your future eligibility for citizenship will also be delayed, or your green card application can be denied. When I was granted asylum, I made some mistakes that meant that I obtained my green card several years after asylum approval. And worse, this meant that the process to get my citizenship took very long. My advice is that do not be like me, do not make the same mistakes I made. Here are things to consider as an Asylee as you prepare to apply for your green card. 1. Timing. As an Asylee, you can apply for a green card 1 year after being granted asylum. It's crucial to file your application within this 1-year window to avoid any potential issues. Do not delay. For me, I delayed applying for my asylum-based green card because I had other priorities and chose to do other things with my money rather than apply for a green card. This was a mistake. Do not delay applying for your green card. If you delay like me, it means it will take longer for you to be eligible to apply for citizenship. Do not delay, I beg you. 2. Eligibility requirements. Ensure that you meet the eligibility requirements for obtaining a green card. Generally, you must have been physically present in the US for at least 1 year after being granted asylum, and you must continue to meet the definition of a refugee. What this means is that, when you are granted asylum, do not leave the US, otherwise you will not meet the definition of being physically present in the US. Generally speaking, your Asylee/refugee status will not change after 1 year. But if you leave the US, if you return to your country of persecution, your admissibility as an Asylee might change. 3. Criminal history. Be aware that certain criminal convictions or activities may impact your eligibility for a green card. It's essential to disclose all relevant information about your criminal history, if any, when filing your application. I have covered this topic several times in the past. Do not commit crimes in the US, even if you are done with the immigration process. Never commit crimes, because if you do, you can be deported from the US. Do not commit fraud, theft, murder, drug trafficking. Do not illegally possess firearms. Do not commit domestic violence. Do not commit sex crimes. Do not do money laundering. Do not commit robbery. Do not commit crimes of any kind, because if you do, your ability to apply for a green card can be compromised. 4. Travel restrictions. While you are an Asylee, there are some restrictions on international travel. If you plan to travel outside the US, make sure you understand these restrictions and obtain necessary travel documents. My motto is that do not travel until you get your citizenship. 5. Marriage and family considerations. If you are married or have eligible family members, you may include them in your green card application. Make sure to follow the appropriate procedures for each family member. 6. Abandonment of Asylee status. If an individual voluntarily returns to their home country or expresses a desire to give up their Asylee status, it may impact their eligibility for a green card. This is because if you go back to your country of persecution, your application for a green card might be denied because you abandoned your Asylee status. Again, this is why I always say, do not travel until your citizenship application is approved. 7. Processing timelines. The processing timeline for an Asylee's green card application can vary depending on several factors, including the workload at U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, the complexity of the case, and any additional security or background checks that may be required. When I applied for a green card based on an approved asylum case a long time ago, it took 25 months for the application to be approved. Remember, my case was clean, with no issues, but it took USCIS 25 months to approve it. So be prepared to wait a long time to get your green card application approved. 8. The interview. If your application is clean, meaning you had no criminal convictions, the green card application interview based on asylum is usually very fast. In my interview, the officer just went over my application to check if all the information I provided was correct. If there has been a change of address, the officer updates during this time. The interview can get complicated if you have traveled back to your country of persecution. The officer might decide that you are no longer an Asylee. If you have had criminal convictions, the officer might decide you are ineligible. The takeaway is that green card interview experience based on the complexity of your case. As you can see, green card application based on approved asylum is a unique process. When done right, it can be very straightforward. However, if you introduce complex factors to your case, like traveling to your country of persecution or getting criminal convictions, your case can become complex and can be denied. Thank you for watching this week's episode. I hope the insights shared in this video have enhanced your understanding of the asylum process. Do you have questions about the asylum process? Do you have questions about green cards based on approved asylum? Do you have questions about the citizenship application process based on approved asylum? Or have you recently received asylum and you have advice to share? I encourage you to email me or share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more answers to your questions about the asylum process. Thank you for watching, family.